You're tuned in to Live Farm Girl Fit.
It's fitness as a lifestyle.
Keep it simple, get it done.
I know food is fuel, but I'm making it home taste better.
Hard work yields results.
The best part of Farmgirlfit is the people.
Welcome to Live Farm Girl Fit, episode 01. I don't know. It's our first episode. We're your hosts, Jaunessa.
And I'm Jenni. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about our approach to fitness as a lifestyle. And mostly we'll be talking in terms of women's fitness and how we approach it to be more about performance and capability, overall health, rather than inches and pounds and some of those things.
And also how it's a personal journey. It's very individualized. It's different for everybody, and sort of how we balance it in our lives with respect to what our goals are. Before we jump into the good stuff, we'll give you a little bit of background about what Farmgirlfit is and what we're trying to accomplish with this brand new podcast, Live Farmgirlfit.
So we're both founders and coaches of Farmgirlfit. We're a gym where we mostly train women. We think about everything a woman wants to see and be when they walk through the door. Over the past several years, we've coached thousands of women. We have locations in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. If you're not familiar, Spokane, Washington, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, they're about an hour apart from each other. We've coached a variety of women, every age from 16 to 67. We really cater to every age and capability as far as that goes.
Yeah, and capability is a big one. The level of fitness of our ladies, the women that we've worked with, is about as diverse as 16 to 67. Literally women who've never set foot in another gym or really played any sports or undertaken any athletic endeavor, all the way through truly professional athletes, women who are paid to excel at sports and fitness. So we've seen a lot of women. We've worked out some kinks with regard to fitness and nutrition and kind of what different women are looking for, because as varied as they are, they all have similar goals, things that they like to experience, and we want to share some of that with you.
So we've been training for almost 5 years now as far as this location goes, but for the purposes of Live Farm Girl Fit, we want to share what we've learned through some of these experiences. So we have these unique anecdotes, training tips, things that are really specific just to women, and we want to share that with you. And as we continue to train, we also continue to learn every day. So many different people come in here, but we want to share some of these tips and tricks, and we want to share our nutrition plans that we've tried, what we actually do, and I think this is really important for women in particular, because we can sometimes have these not so good relationships with some of the things that we really focus on, like nutrition and working out and being the best you can be. So so what we like, what we didn't like about when we first started training, and everything in between.
And of course, some of that will include gear, the clothes that we wear, shoes, some of the things that we find very specific to women, and then things that are more general to fitness overall. But the big idea is that we want to answer your questions, things that you want to hear, share your stories, things that you've learned. So please don't be afraid to ask us questions, give us feedback, give us your comments, questions, concerns, anything that you want to hear from us.
So I think that about sums it up. So let's get into some of the nitty-gritty.
Cool. All right, so on this first one, we're kind of talking about body awareness and acceptance, really truly being accepting of who you are. And it's becoming more and more popular in the fitness world that's kind of a catchphrase, acceptance and body awareness. And we approach it a little bit differently or understand those words a little bit differently than maybe what you hear just walking down the street or when you pop on, whatever TV show.
Yeah, and we really want to think about, in terms of your genetics and what you're predisposed to look like, and that being okay. Instead of seeing so much media out there that really shows sometimes an unhealthy way to be as far as what you want to change your body to look like. And what we want to do is get people to really understand that we all have different shapes and sizes, but at the same time we can all work together and be doing the same types of workouts and being as fit as we can possibly be, and what our ancestry and our genetics are predisposing us to look like and be. So accepting that and knowing that when you see, an athlete in a magazine, that that's her job, is to be an athlete, and her skill set and her genetics are predisposed to look a certain way. And just as a model, that is a body type that is very lean and usually 5'10" or above or something like that. So that's her specific set of genetics. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we need to look or be a certain way. We need to actually understand who we really are and be really okay with that.
And really respect that about yourself. So there are, even though we're genetically predisposed to be certain shapes or different shapes, and that's all okay, we can all work towards being a fit version of ourselves or a healthy version of ourselves. And so that's really what we try to focus on. And for us, that kind of has 4 main components. So the first one is fueling your body, the way that you eat. That will be our next episode, is focus on nutrition. The second is recharging, really taking care of yourself, and that includes getting enough sleep, some meditation, reflection, those kinds of things, slowing down sometimes, having clarity, and really mental health and toughness. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the other, but really being okay. There's so many demands on us as women, as people in general, that we really want to excel and meet all those demands, and sometimes you need to take a step back and say, I'm enough, what I'm doing is good enough, and I don't need to do more necessarily.
Or
more,
everything.
Right, more isn't always better. And then the last piece is strengthen. So again, focused on with fitness, building your stronger muscles, but just overall your emotional, your mental, your whole well-being, being strong in all of those.
Yes. So overall, we really want to have every woman respect their body. And so if you really actually take a step back, and that's a very big, large term to just say respect your body, but we spend so much time thinking about other people, our families, taking care of other people, and really think about when you get your hair done. That takes like an hour and a half. When you get your nails done, when you go through the latte stand, you do all these things. But when it comes to nutrition or actually really taking care of your body, it's like, oh, I have to do food prep, or oh, I don't have time for that. And so we really want women to take the time to really honor their bodies. And so if you just let that resonate with you, it's a big term, but really, when's the last time that you really, thought about something good about yourself? Like, oh, I actually look good, or I like this part of my body, or I'm going to have this lunch because I know it's going to make me feel good and it's going to fuel me, and my workout later is going to be awesome. Instead of being like, I'm going to skip lunch, or I'm too busy, or something like that. And then when you actually do come to your workout, or maybe even skip the workout because your blood sugar is so low and you just feel really lethargic. Everything just sort of is this chain reaction. So honestly, we really want you to grasp the concept that you're going to now take care of your body because you respect it and you like it.
And stop ignoring yourself. You're no good to anybody else, to the people around you, your friends or family, if you aren't taking good care of yourself. Being lethargic, being tired, feeling run down, you're just not as productive. And say that to yourself, that you're not going to ignore yourself anymore. You're worth it. You're value. You see it on the airplane. Put your oxygen mask on first before assisting others. You have to do that first. So don't ignore yourself. That's what the main thing that we want to get across. You're going to be better in every aspect of your life if you take that time to focus on you a little bit.
So we've kind of thrown around this idea of a little bit of a formula as far as how to be happy, be aware of your body and accepting of your body, as well as just being a little bit healthier and enjoying your life a little bit more. If you take your genetics or your predisposition for your specific body type, or you think about who you are right now, not necessarily what the media has in store for you, that vision that you see of yourself. So if you take that and you subtract these expectations you have to look a certain way, or this media perception of what the woman is supposed to look like, or that perfect body, you take away some of that, and that's what you're left with. So I guess we should have made like a little cue card, but if you take away,
check out the notes.
We'll have notes for that. But so what you're trying to do is come to terms with where you are right now, thinking about where you want to be as far as goals go, which we'll get to some of that, but then taking away some of that predisposition, or that I guess not predisposition, that expectation to
things
be
that are imposed on you.
Yes.
Like, be really self-reflective about who you truly are, and then maybe things that other people perceive you to be, and where you can balance that. So you want to meet with who you truly are right now too. And I think for women that's especially important as we go through life. There's so many changes, and I mean, motherhood is a big one, obviously, that affects a lot of people, but there's just different points in your life where whatever stresses are happening with work or family or anything else, it ebbs and flows, and you have to be okay with that and be able to go with that and accept that, and not succumb to what other people want you to be or what you perceive them to want you to be.
And I think especially with women, we can be rah-rah women, but it's true. Like, women are natural caregivers, and that's that natural instinct is to take care of other people before they take care of themselves. And we want you to be a little bit selfish in that way, and really figure out what you need to do on a daily basis and where you're headed. Whereas from a bird's perspective, or the bird's eye view, where are you? Where do you see yourself? And then where do you see yourself going as far as your overall health is concerned?
And so part of where this translates for fitness, you can look and watch sports and watch athletes and think, wow, I want to be that, I need to be that, I can strive to be that. And it's not that we don't admire where those women are or those athletes are, but also taking a step back to think that that's their job, that's what they train for, that's what they're paid to do. They work 12 hours a day to look that way. And what do you really want for your life? What's conducive to your lifestyle? And how do you make that work? And don't put unwarranted expectations on yourself, because you'll never be able to achieve them, and it just kind of creates this vicious cycle.
Yes, and in the fitness world, which, we hear things all the time about, I need to lose this much weight, I need to, especially specific body parts, this needs to be smaller, this needs to be bigger. We want to we don't want to get away from, yes, there's value in, making some of those goals as far as weight goes and things like that. But we want to think of things in a holistic sort of way. And instead of narrowing in on some of those, pounds and sizes and shapes, we really want you to think about it as a healthy body fat percentage, possibly. We don't want to go into a lot of work with the scale, things like that, things that can really lead you down that wrong path. So we really think about performance, how you're performing in the gyms, or how you want to, do you have spontaneity? Can you sprint up the stairs at your lunch break? Someone asks you to go hiking or biking. Can you just hop on a bike? Or are you willing to do any of those things? So I think that has a lot to do with what we mean when we talk about, performance and overall health. So being really capable as a woman to do any task that is asked of them. Crickets.
I know, right? What else?
First episode. So on here, just being really capable. You've heard the concept harder to kill, but honestly, it's about being able to do some of these things. particularly in our gym, women, we climb ropes, sometimes we get out some tires, but honestly, depending on whatever workout you're into, you should feel like it's not going to bring you down for the rest of the day. It's actually going to lift you up, and it's going to make you feel more capable. If your workouts, if you can dread them, but if you really fear them, or you feel like someone's going to be watching you, or you're degraded or something like that, then maybe what you're doing isn't necessarily right for you. Everyone needs to sweat, and everyone needs to feel good about their workouts every day.
And that's a big thing that we try to incorporate, is making it fun. And so, I mean, girls will joke that, God, this is terrible, you're really going to make us do that, but always when they leave, no one ever regrets coming. And there's just little intricacies to making it more fun, to doing it with a group. Community is a huge part of it, not only having somebody to keep you accountable, but it's just more, I mean, we go to the bathroom in groups, so why wouldn't we work out in groups? We like being around other people, so it does keep it more interesting and more fun.
Yeah, and we really do have a lot of intricacies. I think that we're even in this little bubble here, and even some of our members that are listening, I think they don't even realize the things that we present for them as coaches, as the environment presents for them, and just their interaction with all the other women that are here. I think that they don't even realize how interesting that this is, and we're really excited to share with the rest of the world.
Then they realize.
When they move, and then we get an email or a call about a week later, like, oh my gosh, I miss you guys so much, I'm still doing the workouts, or what gym should I go to? We got an Instagram message yesterday by a longtime member, and she moved away to college, and she was like, what gym should I go to in this city? And I'm like, we don't have one there, so I don't really know.
Yet.
But, yeah, so it's pretty interesting when people kind of get outside of this community that we've built, and they realize that there are a lot of things that we think about for all of our women.
Well, I don't know, does that wrap it? Any other thoughts about what we're doing, what we want to present to women with regard to fitness?
I think there's a ton, but we'll get more specific. We'll break each of these components down more specifically in our next episodes. I think that's good for our first episode.
All right, well, I think that'll wrap it up. If there are any questions or anything that you guys would like us to talk about, please give us feedback. So you can comment on the Facebook post or leave comments on YouTube.
So follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Farmgirlfit. You'll be the first to know when our podcasts come to be live, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So we're under Farmgirlfit. And you can also subscribe to our podcast on iTunes.
Yeah, and the really good part, we saved the best for last. We really, really want to get you guys subscribing to our podcast, so we are going to entice you, giving away some pretty cool prizes.
As all of our members know, we're really good at giving prizes away.
Really good. It'll be worth your while. So we're going to do one prize package to one of our first 500 subscribers via YouTube, and one of our first 500 subscribers on iTunes also. So 2 prize packages.
So if you subscribe to both, you'll have 2 chances to win. So for those of you who already know us, we'll draw the winners, and we'll announce the prize packages in an upcoming episode, so you'll have to stay tuned for that.
Thanks for tuning in to Live Farm Girl Fit. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.